Massachusetts, a vibrant mix of forests, mountains, wetlands, and waterways, beaches, dunes, marshes, and shoreline. Those of us who are lucky enough to live here treasure this abundance of natural resources. Yet, every day in Massachusetts, 40 acres of land is developed. Who will keep this precious legacy from disappearing? Who will ensure that development will not compromise environmental quality? The answer is, to a large extent, our neighbors, people like you and me, who volunteer their time on local conservation commissions.
Massachusetts passed the Conservation Commission Act in 1957. From that date forward, conservation commissions were created in every city and town in the state, 351 of them, and what they've achieved is truly amazing. We've protected over 200,000 acres of open space all across the state. Conservation commissions also regulate development in and near wetlands under the State Wetlands Protection Act to ensure that when development occurs near sensitive resource areas like rivers, that it doesn't damage those resource areas.
Well, conservation commissions are in charge of protecting open spaces like we have here, conservation lands that people can enjoy. They're also in charge of making sure that we're watching over development and making sure development is done in such a way as to protect our water supplies, our air quality, and our lakes and ponds.
Conservation commissioners are unpaid volunteers. They give up their evenings, they often give up their daytimes and weekends as well for this effort. We owe them a debt of gratitude. Commissioners not only protect under the law wetlands and water bodies and flood-prone areas, through their powers of persuasion, they're advocates for local open space, forest, and farmland, as well as historic preservation.
River fronts, river edges, streams, ponds, and flood-prone areas. All these are important to people, and yet individually, even the worthiest human beings always want to build something. It's not enough to issue a permit. Somebody's got to go out and find out what's actually happening. If conservation commissions didn't exist, we would not have an acre of salt marsh left in this state. And roads have to get built, and houses have to get built, and so on. And the commission's job is to keep them away from sensitive wetland areas.
Well, environmental regulations both at the state and local level really have a huge impact on the quality of life. Everything from recreational opportunities to the clean water that we have to the clean air that we breathe day in and day out. Conservation commissions have an important job to make sure that growth is channeled in the appropriate places. I think it's fair to say that conservation commissions are not opposed to growth or economic development. In fact, I think most of us encourage it. It's just making sure it's done in a proper way in the right places. Any chance you run into a person who's a conservation commission member or agent, you should tap them on the shoulder and say thanks.
Your local Conservation Commission administrators and commissioners maintain a difficult balance, shaping economic development in a way that protects the environment, ensuring pure air to breathe and clean water to drink, and preventing storm and flood damage to our homes and businesses. In the process, natural areas and the wildlife flourishing there are protected, ensuring that Massachusetts remains vibrant and beautiful.
I think that it's critically important for the growth and development of children, for the health of a society generally, to have natural places to grow up in, to play in, to recreate in, not in little packages that you get in your car and drive to, but in larger, unfragmented places where you can walk to or go to and walk around in and be part of.
I work for the Massachusetts Association of Conservation Commissions, MACC, and it's our job to support and train conservation commissions throughout the state. We have an environmental handbook, a telephone helpline, a core curriculum of 8 unit courses, workshops, a website. and we're there to support conservation commissions in your community. We also work hard to make sure that environmental laws and regulations are strong and science-based. You can help support the Massachusetts Association of Conservation Commissions because we in turn provide critical training and assistance to all commissions in the state. But you can also support your commission locally by joining the commission at town meeting and simply by becoming better informed about the work of the Conservation Commission in your community.
I served on the Conservation Commission for 18 years. I've been volunteering on the MACC board for 30 years, and I've twice served as president. It's the most exciting pro bono work that I do.
And places like the Grove wouldn't be protected had not conservation commissions planned for it and made sure that areas like this are being protected for the enjoyment of its residents and the Commonwealth.
All of these mountains and steep slopes and the wetlands that you see here are protected by conservation commissions, and I'm very proud to be on one of them.
In Massachusetts, we value the natural environment we live in and will leave to our children and grandchildren. Our conservation commissions have led the way to maintain a balance between economic development and preservation of natural areas, and we are proud of our half-century of accomplishments. But the truth is, our work will be even more important in the future. Most easily developed land is already gone, and new development is pushing ever closer to wetlands, rivers, lakes, and the ocean. We will all need to work harder and harder to maintain a healthy, clean environment in Massachusetts to protect our precious legacy.